from Poison Rock. Today I have the pleasure to have with me, because it's just me, Allan from Withering Surface. First of all, how is going, Allan?
It's going pretty good. It's a little busy here now, preparing for everything, but it's nice. It's good to have some stuff to do,
Yeah.
some music to play, and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like you mentioned, the exact release date of the album is in the 7th of June.
Yes.
And of course, there was an album released in 2020, it was Meteor Maker, which is like the official, we can say, coming back of Withering Surface.
It is.
So not to think too much about the past, because we are mindful people and we like the present. Just say that, I mean, in general, like, what did it bring you, like, to start the decision to come back again with Withering Surface?
Well, yeah, it's a quite long story, but then again, I will just go down. But it was kind of a funny thing, I think, because we always said that we wouldn't reunite at any time. But then Michael's other band, the singer called Thorium, which I was also in for like 10, 15 years, he's still going. They released an album some years ago where they recorded with Jacob, the old drummer. Well, he's young, but the original drummer from back in the days. And they chatted about it could be fun playing again and yada yada yada. And Michael actually wrote in the credits for that album. So nice times with Jacob doing this album. Maybe it's time for a reunion or something like that. And I actually read that. And then like a week later, he called and said, well, now we're actually serious about it. So would you like to participate? Because him and Jacob agreed that if we should do this, it should be like the original lineup or as close as we could get to the original lineup. And it would only make sense with those two and me, and then whoever else we could get on board. So I was in for it, and we agreed that we should do a reunion, not to just go out and play old tunes, but to do a full on with new material. And if we couldn't, find ourselves, and if we weren't comfortable doing new music, we should just drop it. So I wrote three, four tunes, and then we get a little with that, and we decided that this is going the right way. Let's do it.
So this is
we wrote the album, and that was kind of it. I was in between bands, kind of bands that was kind of dissolving, but I was writing music for a new project, and I found myself that I was back to doing only and just melodic stuff. So it was like it fitted just right into the pocket. So it just the project, and we went on with Withering Surface.
So, and that's when you released Meteor Maker. That it came out in the best year for everyone in 2020. That did you guys have a chance of performing that album live at least?
No, it was horrible timing. I mean, at that point we've been working with this idea and the album and everything about it for I think a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and we just released the first single of the album in February, I think, and then 14 days later, everything. So we were like, what are we doing here? Are we going forward? Are we postponing it? But of course, it would be a huge anti-climax to just let everything go. And also, we figured that if this was going on for half a year, 1 year, 2 years, we knew that everybody else would be ready to release their postponed albums or the albums they did in the lockdown or the projects they did during that period. So we were like, let's fucking just get it out there and see what happens. Maybe it all turns out great.
at least in the first live, I think you played, everyone knew the song like memory, like they acknowledged the song. I mean, at least there was the time to listen really one song of any of the album, because it's usually not everyone listen all the songs. So there was no excuses. But of course, after such a long time, let's say far from the, at least with Withering Surface, when you were releasing Meet Your Maker, I mean, for you, and of course, if you know about as well the other members, how did you feel? Like you felt like it was because of course it was a kind of a challenge. I mean, it wasn't easy after 15 years. Just release the music. I mean, changed kinda, especially in Denmark, which is like a big, gigantic place where death metal band comes out like already perfect. I don't know what was going. I don't know what did you have in Denmark as a music right now. It's amazing. So all these young bands that they changed a little, shaped, I think, the death metal scene a lot. So Denmark is a big country for music. So how did you feel?
Yeah, okay. I usually, we used to having the Swedes next to us and the Norwegians and Finland.
Yeah.
They are also like, yeah. So if Denmark is big, then they are huge. I would say, but yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, and I mean, everything has changed since we started, obviously, but also since we broke up. So the whole Internet of Things and the whole
that's true as well. Yeah.
yeah, the whole genre development, and there's been like, maybe 2 or 3 like movements since we disbanded with, like what's it called, the jump around and rap and stuff like that, and the whole death metal, and now core and all that shit. So it was like it was actually pretty. It was challenging, of course, because we haven't done that for years. But we also said that we are not picking up where we left, because that was one of the main issues with the band when we broke up, was we didn't agree on the musical direction, and we have had other members, and we moved a little bit. So we actually wanted to go a little further back in what we did for the new tunes, to like conform to the lineup we were initiating with, the as close to original members. But I mean, anyways, I've been more or less writing the materials since we started. There's been people in and out and stuff like that, but it's been more or less me. So it was kind of, I just did some music and I didn't think too much about it. And I think that's also a part of the exercise to see, can we actually do this? And then when we did those couple of tunes, we found out that this is actually pretty easy for us to do, and we feel really good about it. And it sounds like something we can also be presenting today without being super dinosaurs. So it was a challenge, but it was also pretty natural and a lot of fun. So
you got the experience. So
I guess,
so
kind of.
let's say that for that, it's something that puts you like with a step forward for the other bands out there, because you know at least how the market and the business works. Maybe it's a lot different than from the past, but I mean, I think you, like you said, you've been in bands, you're still in the music scene, so it's not like you were living in a cave for 15 years. And what's that? What is that? What is these things? What is this? What is this? Is a phone, really? So
we still knew how to put on strings and change the heads of the drums and stuff. So it was not back to
So so let's say, of course, Make a Marker is out. The lockdown is going, and it's like it's screaming like, "Stay home." We had enough of that. What you get? So I think you got the chance to come back live and play Meet Your Makers live, and I mean, being live after all those times with new members, old members. But anyway, like you, Allan, like being on the stage with Withering Surface, like after lockdown, after being away from the scene, how does it feel? How does it feel? I mean, what did you see that, well, for example, was different and what was new, or maybe nothing changed at all? And how the people
No,
reacted for the new album? I mean,
yeah, well, first of all, it felt really, really good
Mhm.
to be back. I was a little, it was going to be a little weird playing with, I mean, immediately we just locked in like in the old days. It was like we, continued the conversation and also the musical things since we saw each other last. But of course, you're a little anxious. So how is this going to be?
Yeah.
And but it was just a big relief. Also, getting out, playing that music that has been on hold for I think a year actually since we released it, and we played the first gigs where people had to sit down and wear the mask, and a venue of 300 could hold
Yeah.
80.
Check
Uh,
check the
a super
parts.
lame,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. A super lame atmosphere, really, but it was really well received, and people were really into it. And of course, also at the time it was possible to go out and do stuff like that. People were super hungry to get out and hear some live music.
Exactly.
So a little bit of everything, but
Yeah.
mostly it felt awesome to be back. And I mean, we went for new material and we didn't want to dwell on the past, all that shit. But it was also really, really fun to play those old tracks again.
Yeah, because you mean you at your live shows, you got now old fan coming back, a new fan. So even younger generation just getting closer to the music and
Yeah,
maybe even starting to finding out old material. I don't know, maybe even the first demo that was a real success for Within Surface. So
yeah,
with Surface. So it's cool at that, but of course, after Meteor Makers is just now the time for, let's say, not a second album, but for another album, Exit Plan. This
yeah.
the sequel is out. Denial, denial, denial. Okay, I want to understand the message because it sounds like it wants to say something powerful. Because when, let's say, one word is repeated multiple times, like the I want to say, like, yeah, like a strong way, denial, denial, denial. So what about the lyrics and the message behind denial? Denial, denial.
I was hoping you weren't asking that question because for that tune, I actually don't know. I
Okay,
actually don't know what it's about. Michael is doing all the lyrics,
okay,
and
okay, okay.
I have
That's a fair.
wrote all of them, and I know what it's about. I know the concept and stuff,
Okay,
and more. Some of the songs are more, obvious than others, and
okay,
it's all always open for a lot of interpretation.
okay.
But for the whole concept of exit plan
Yeah.
it's about, I think Media Maker was kind of like dealing with the past, dealing with who are you, what made you the person you are, and exit plan is kind of the next step where you deal with the past and you kind of have to determine. I
Yeah.
mean, we are not young people anymore. We are not facing our end, but we are on the second stage, right? Um, you know, Dealing with all the shit in your past, your life now, how do you want to live it, and kind of weed out the stuff you don't really want in your life
Yeah.
going forward. What is your, yeah, well, your exit plan? Let's say it like that.
Yeah.
But how do I want to live the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Do I need this person? Do I need this project? Do I need this concern? Do I
Yeah.
need these thoughts I have about this and that? So it's everything from sex, religion, relationships,
Yeah.
um, fears, what you want in life, and I think denial is kind of grasping instead of denying
Yeah.
what is in your life.
Mhm.
having it, dealing with it, and move forward.
Yeah.
So have a clear vision of who am I, who do I want to be moving forward, who do I want in my life, stuff like that.
And
so that's the main topic of everything. So
yeah, and
yeah.
I mean, you answered perfectly. So even
Okay.
you answered perfectly, because I think that it's really relatable to a lot of people beside ages. Because if we think how we were during the lockdown, then I think that at least for most of the population alive, it was a really an historical event to live like that. Because I mean, at least there weren't people from 1918 from the Spanish flu, was something that we never saw. So we were forced inside a house or whatsoever we were to just think about our life, so, and make an exit plan for that in the future. So we were forced to think about it. So I think that everyone went through that phase, like, I need that person, I need this situation, what I can change. I mean, we were, focused with our thoughts. We did an exit plan for that then. But when the things reopen, and especially now, that I think that I think a little bit forgot maybe how we were about that thinking and that, let's say, healing or whatsoever. But yeah, I said that exit plan could be listened and interpreted and felt by everyone, despite the age, the stage of life they are.
Yeah. That's also a big, as you say, a big part of the whole lockdown situation and coming out of it, and maybe even realizing that, okay, now we've had 2 years with people being very cautious of how they, how they act and stuff, and everybody was super nice to each other and cautious and all that. And then immediately when it's all opened up again, we are back to where we were actually. War, people treating each other like shit, taking advantage of people, all that. Like, we forgot all about it. So it's super weird, because I remember that everybody talked about, oh, maybe this is going to, have everyone thinking about what are we actually doing in this world, and what are we doing to the world. But I don't know, it kind of vanished. The whole.
I can, and I even hear in Sicily that I think probably in Italy you have see throughout the I don't know, the news or whatsoever, there were people that literally in the roof of the balcony, but mainly in the roof of the building, when there was Easter or time to do they used to do barbecue. So you see all these people, even when you hate your own neighbors, say,
exactly.
I have to deal with them. So just let's be on one thing. Just people singing on the balcony, really, literally. So that, I mean, if I go outside and sing on my balcony now, probably I'm gonna receive some bucket of water from them.
So much love and understanding, and it was all just forgotten.
Yeah. So let's say that exit plan could be kind of a reminder of let's say, an introspective reading of ourselves. And about let's say the sound, so sound wise, from Medium Makers, which is, let's say, more recent, and to exit plan, what could you say that is mainly changed about the sound itself?
Well, I guess two aspects. We when we sat with this new product last time, we had a lot of time to think about what is this, what did we do, how did we do it, and some of us agreed that it was. I mean, we were all proud of it and stuff, but there was some stuff we wanted to do differently. So from Media Maker to Exit Plan, I think that's quite a leap, because we were really focused on that. We wanted to have more energy, more power, and more precise, like sharp execution, playing wise, and also was a little. We had a little messy mix process with Media Maker, so this time we wanted to be exactly sure that we got what we wanted. So we, besides all this with like really playing, focusing on getting the best output. We also took a lot of time to find out who's going to mix the album. Jakob Hansen, who is the sound guru of Denmark, he did the last one, and it was done fairly quickly, and he actually really didn't have time for it at that point. But we were let down by the guy we initially chose, and we had to do something to get it out. And so we turned back to Jacob. He's an old friend and a really good guy, and we actually wanted him to do the next one too. And he said, yeah, well, the last time was a little, friendly price, so I would need to have like maybe double as much this time, which is fair because it is what you usually charge, so why not? So we were like, okay, let's see if we should explore some others. We had two guys in the band who has their own studio. They tried to do a test mix, which they were both great, but not exactly what. And we decided to not go internally because the ruckus, about having internal arguments on how stuff should sound and can you do and this and that and so on. So we disbanded that, got a few other test mix, and we were like, this is not working. Let's try something completely different. And we turned to Søren Andersen,
which is really well an amazing musician as well, just to say to the people.
And person and like a musical prodigy. He's so cool. But he's a rock guy. He does rock and hard rock. He works with Michael on Michael's label. He has released an album or two, I think, on Michael's label, and also a lot of the bands that Michael released on his label. Another sub label than the one we're on is rock and roll, and they usually mix and record with Søren because he's just great. So we're like, let's try it out. It can't hurt anybody. So, but we were a little precautious about it because we know maybe it's just gonna sound like boof tick. But he totally blew our minds. He came back with a test mix right away, and I could hear that he took like my demo guitar, that's the sound, like directly from me, and just turned a few knobs, and it just sounded great. Not the sound we wanted, but it was super easy to hear that he really got the ears for this too. And the leveling and how everything was handled was just super cool. So we said that, okay, we don't want this sound, which is the demo guitar, but from what you had and what you did is super. So what can it be when you get to do the full thing? And then we started with the reamping of guitars and doing bass and all that stuff, and it was just it was super amazing. I'm really happy about the output, both execution wise and also sound.
Let's say that. So with the influence, or at least with the background of Søren Andersen, did you feel that there was a little bit of hard rockish going on in the last album, or it kept that death metal or the metal sound, the core?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every great producer and mix guy should be able to take whatever input and take whatever band and say, okay, so this is a band playing this and that. Let me give you the interpretation of what you are doing, but you still need to sound like you.
Exactly.
And that's also one of the main features that I really liked about him. He was like, from day one, he was like, I haven't done too much of this, but let's go and see what we can do. And he took his own touch, and he was super true to our sound and what we play, and the level of the instruments,
Yeah.
how they work together, and what is important
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it wasn't like keys just in the front and then a little
Oh.
guitar
No,
in the back.
there was
Um,
whole production. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So that's one of the things. Besides having super great ears, and anything that was a little wrong, then he also could hear that how we should actually sound as us. So it was a super nice experience.
That's
Yeah.
And of course, like with the exit plan being out on the 7th of June, there's going to be some other singles released before the full release, or we're going to go just straight forward to the full release on the 7th of June.
No, we have one more coming out on Monday, I think, next week
Okay.
at least.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
It's another single.
yeah, it's called I Finally Lost All Hope in Humanity. A little doom and gloom title, but it that also like a callback to what we talked about before,
Yeah.
having that humanity, hope
Exactly.
you have for humanity during COVID, for example, or just like a naive young
Yeah.
belief that everybody is good. So the little take on that, we still keep on fucking up the environment,
Yeah.
the political scene, economy,
Yeah.
or
So,
stuff like that. And I know also it's a little personal thing for Michael, as he's not like a people person. He says himself. He rather enjoys his own company, but he's really good at being social. It's not that, but I mean, feeling comfortable in your own company, also because you never know when you will be disappointed, be it
yeah.
business partners, friends,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
as a wife, now they've been together for 25 years, so it's not her, but like relationships, all that shit.
Yeah, friendship. Yeah, let's say relationships can include everyone, from even parents, even cousin,
Yeah,
relatives, whatsoever. Friendship doesn't matter. Business partner. Yeah,
yeah, and
someone
also like
always disappoint. Some, even at least one person always disappoint. So I think we all use disappointment in life. But of course,
yeah,
talking a little about, because of course, like we said, it's gonna be out the 7th. The pre-order are open, I think,
yeah.
so people can go and pre-order. There's let's say your main website, or they can pre-order as well throughout Mighty Music. How does it work?
Yeah, it is. It's called Target Shop,
Okay, so
and
there is.
it's not the American supermarket chain. it's, it is the record. The Michael's company is called Target Group,
Okay,
where all the labels are called Target, Mighty, Emancipation,
yeah,
and so on, for different genres. But it's the website is
target.
called targetshop.dk, I think it is.
Okay, 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 okay.
There you can find everything on that label, and including us and the pre-order. Yeah.
Okay, and you're planning, I mean, of course, I don't know if you're planned already some release shows, or if you have planned already live shows whatsoever. It could be in Denmark, could be, I don't know, everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we are actually playing the day it comes out.
Okay,
It's not a release party as such. It's more like a release concert, I guess,
yeah.
where we of course will mainly focus on the new songs, also play some older stuff,
Okay,
together with two other Danish bands, one called Accelerate and one
okay,
called Troll. Super nice
okay,
bands and super nice guys, and that's kind of just kicking off the album.
okay,
Then we have festivals during summer and the fall,
okay,
and
okay.
we have some gigs in Sweden and Holland lined up.
Okay.
We were supposed to go on tour with another band, but
Right
yeah,
now.
that fell apart. But we are planning on something in 25. We have
Okay.
a Danish tour with some other bands too, and then we are trying to figure out some stuff in Europe too. We
Okay.
are more than eager to get out there finally. You know, it was so dry last time. Also, we had a lot of lineup changes that meant that last year we only played one concert.
Okay.
Yeah, it was super
Since
nice.
since you mentioned that this new lineup, let's just say who is today in Withering Surface.
Oh yeah, and we also going to Japan. I forgot.
Ah, that's cool. That's super cool.
That's super nice.
Yeah.
All albums have been released in Japan through
Okay.
licensing. So we are we've it's
Cool.
been on our bucket lists ever since the first album to go to Japan, and we are
You made it.
super excited to see if anyone bought all these albums or whatever. But anyway, it's going to be awesome to see the country and see how it is, the metal scene, and to see how it is playing live in a territory we haven't been in before, and hopefully we can also gain a few new fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was
Yeah.
asking about the today
Yeah.
who's involved as a musician in Withering Surface.
Yeah, and that's also a long and boring story. But
we can say just who is today in there, and let's cut.
It's Michael and
Yeah.
I. We are still here, and Jacob, who did who the original drummer, who also played on Media Maker, he left the band after Media Maker, because we initially we decided, like, we agreed that we shouldn't go out and play everything, and we should only focus on like festivals and bigger jobs, stuff like that. But then Corona, all that shit. But also we've worked so hard with this album, so Michael and I really wanted to go out and play, and we did that, and we did it with Jacob a few times, and we did it with a stand-in, and he said, I really don't want to play live, so I think you should just go do your stuff, find an awesome drummer, go play some gigs, because I don't want to hold you back. So he kind of left in that way, and then we got another drummer, and we actually recorded Exit Plan with him, but he was too busy and he didn't have the time to do it properly. So we had to let him go, and then I asked Jacob, do you want to play the drums on this one too? And he was like, yeah, man, of course, because he loves being creative and he loves the music and what we're doing. He just don't want to play live. So he did that. So, but it was just for the recording, right? So we are still us three on the album. Jesper, the bassist from last time, is also in the band still. And then we have a new drummer now called Troels. Yeah, and he just joined, and he's super good, and it's very promising for the future too. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that chapter will.
So on the 7th of June, there will be the first full new lineup as well live.
One with him as drummer, yes, and it will be the other concert I talked about last year was the first that Marco, our new guitarist, played. So it's going to be his second a year and 3 months after we played our last gig. It's so weird, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah,
it's cool. Like that. I mean, I said that the core of Withering Surface is always there. It's always here. That's the main thing. The core from the beginning until today, despite the changes of lineup, is still here. Well, this is what the old fans and maybe even the new fan want to see. So until the 7th of June, the day of release, I just wish you good luck with all the releases, and enjoying Japan, which is a big achievement. Enjoy when you're going to be in Japan, and looking forward to see how the people is going to react. But I think it's going to react really good, and I'm glad that you're back again on the scene, because I remember something during 2003-4, I think. I was really young. I was like 17, I think, 16, something like that. I remember. I wasn't too much into metal, but I remember about the name. In fact, I asked immediately to Fernando, can I interview? Because I was really something. Yes. Something
that's cool.
Here in Italy. Yeah.
But you are from Italy, or?
Italy, yes.
You are?
Sicily. So there were people from the metal scene maybe listening something, and maybe were even hearing something. So the name wasn't new to me. but it was around 2003, okay, 4, cool. That period. So when I read that, I was like, okay, maybe I can interview. So maybe people from Sicily will remember. So, oh, look, is back. If they don't know. Yeah.
That would be cool. But you should have talked to Marco. He's from Sardinia.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I will do.
Yeah, so that's yeah. So super. It's nice to hear, like, because I mean, it's obvious that when we are out playing, it's either like really old assholes remembering us from back then, or it's young people who heard it on the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
So having like you who kind of
in between
a little, could remember the name, maybe you heard about it, and then that's super awesome. So thanks for that. That's so nice.
But really, thank you so much for everything, and enjoy the rest of the day, and good luck for the release. Thank you.
You too. Thank you
so much, Allan. Bye.
Thank you for Bye.